The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Into the Night. With me, your host, Sean Kelly. Hey, Kevin, good to see you, buddy. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. Don't forget, Miss L. Thomas, her podcast, the Gateway Podcast, will be on right after mine. So at 9:15 Pacific, no, 9:15 Eastern. Okay. I don't know. Sunday was a really weird day, you know. Hey, streamer. It was a weird day. It was a weird evening. It was a weird show. Hey, Sherry. Go Rex and Hudson. Yeah, Hudson and Rex. Go. Hey, Mark Eddie. But there was something different about it all. Everybody's internet went. It just had this overbearing of negativity. And I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about everywhere. And it was really, really confusing because I haven't felt like that for a very, very long time. You know, and I'm thinking, okay, that my show sucked on Sunday, you know. But, I mean, I had so many freaking emotions coming up inside me, beside me, around me, whatever. And it was hard for me to pinpoint what was going on. And I really felt bad that I didn't put out a good product for you on Sunday. I did, you know. I said it a lot of times, you know, I don't care. But when it comes to my friends, when it comes to the people in the chat room that come every week, and follow my show religiously, I felt bad. I really did. because in my mind, I didn't, like I said, I did not put a good product out for you guys. And hey, Mish, good to see you. But I don't know. And then I started reading up and I talked to a lot of people, and it was the blue moon, okay? And from what I understood from listening to other people and reading up on it, yeah, I know. It was terrible, man. It was terrible, Sherman. Um, it was like the blue moon gave off some really, really heavy vibes. And I want to know if anybody out there who felt the same way, if they had some really hardcore vibes. And, and from what I understand, there were a couple that they kept telling me that they were moody and that they were mad and that they were angry. And they couldn't figure out why. And as I did some research, because I couldn't sleep that night, no way in hell did I sleep at night that night. I'm like, maybe the moon did. Hey, Lords. Hey, you guys over there in Twitch, okay? I'm trying to put a show together next Sunday. My brother role plays. He does Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm trying to set up a 2 hour little round table of his friends who he um, plays Dungeons and Dragons, and it's not always Dungeons and Dragons. They have up scenarios, different places. It's crazy, man. And if you could tell your friends over on Twitch, okay, tell them to come in next Sunday night, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. and and hopefully we'll have that roundtable show. And it's all going to be about Dungeons and Dragons. And the reason why I say that is because it, to me, D&D is all fantasy. All role-playing games are just fantasies. And you know, I really, really look at all the main podcasts out there, and nobody really talks about it. And I feel that it has some part of, paranormal or spirituality because they come up. It's amazing how his friends just come up with all these different scenarios. Now, when it comes down to the rolling of the dice and all the other stuff that goes on with it, I don't understand at all. But when my brother comes home the next day, he'll tell me what they're playing and what kind of scenario it is. I mean, he played like an elf that had magic, that had this, that had that. And I thought it would be kind of interesting if we could do a show, something like that. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you. I'm glad you got home safe. And I figure I would put a show on for that. So everybody who is on Twitch who is following, or listening to the show tonight, next Sunday we're going to have my brother's friends who he plays Dungeons and Dragons with. And I think it will be a very interesting show. But back to Sunday. It just was really, really crazy. Hey, Joni, good to see you. It was a crazy, crazy night. And so, the reason why I came up with sleep paralysis and the old hag theory tonight versus because when I finally shut my eyes, okay, I didn't have a sleep paralysis per se, but as I closed my eyes, there was this ugly, not ugly, but mean woman. staring me at the face. And I mean, she got right up there. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Excuse my language. And of course, I broke out with Coda, and then she went away. But, all right, Jody. And I mean, the face was literally right up against mine. And I figure, it must be an old hag thing or something. I don't know. So I came up with this tonight about sleep paralysis versus the old hag theory. Can I ask anybody out there, have they ever experienced this called old hag theory or sleep paralysis? Heidi says, I had a doctor tell me I had sleep paralysis. When I told him what I experienced, it definitely was not. Thank you. If anybody can relate like Heidi just did, and I know I have. And I remember the first time that it happened to me, I was scared shitless. I was. I did not know what was happening. Mish says yes. I did not know what was happening. Joni hasn't. Okay, Joan. And I couldn't breathe. I really couldn't move. And I saw this ugly looking thing sitting on my chest, looking at me. Kevin says, I have had sleep paralysis, but it's never been that long. Okay. But, mine maybe lasted about 5-10 minutes. I don't know, because whenever that happened to me, I lost all track of time. I didn't know how long it was happening, but I know. And no matter what in the hell, hey, Cindy, no matter what in the hell I tried to get rid of it, I couldn't. So eventually what happened, it just went away. Kevin says, I love, Kevin PP4PJ, okay. I love to get sleep paralysis as getting into a dream aware is much easier than going from awake to, hold on, let me back it up a little bit there. It's much easier than going from awake to dream aware, okay. Sherry says she had it, something pressing me into the bed. I couldn't speak at all. Mish says I couldn't open my eyes, but I could hear something going through my room. And Sherry said that there's something bad there. And so, what causes it? Now, from what I was reading, I got my AI stuff here, so I'm going to read it later, pretty soon, maybe at the end of the first break. Joni says, I believe people have them. I wonder what happens or what causes it. And you have your scientific views, and then you got your spiritual views. But here's where I draw the line, okay? Them boys who are doctors, the boys who went to school and studied this stuff and said, okay, so you're in a REM sleep and this happened to you and this is why it's happening. And to me, in their world, in the doctor's world, I'm not judging them. But I will tell you this, I don't believe them. But when I would explain to them what was going on with me and what I saw, they literally looked at me and thought I was crazy. Yeah. And I wasn't crazy. I know what I saw. And I was wide awake with it. But it kind of gets me mad that the scientists, the doctors, that field cannot just accept the fact that spiritual things happen, especially, the old hag Kevin says, I have only the feeling of not being able to wake up and stuck in a dream, as though dream had to play, but before I was allowed to wake up. But that rarely happens. I generally enjoy my dreams. And Kevin PP4PJ says, why crazy? Sleep paralysis demons are very common. And I agree with you, Kevin PPJ. Heidi says, I actually could move and tried to touch the tunnel of blue water with bubbles rising. I was in casement. I reached out. Oh, hold on a second. I reached out and felt nothing but cold within the other senses. I do remember I really couldn't. We believe you. I believe you, Heidi. Joni said, yeah, here's a pill and call me in the morning. And that is so true. That's what they're doing. Heidi says, move my head, weirdest thing ever. And Kevin, of course, says, play out because he types too fast. But I don't understand why they can't, just accept the fact that strange things happen. Paranormal things happen. I'm sure they can learn more from us who have experienced this stuff. And we could probably learn from them. Mish says I would also be can't open my eyes, but then my body felt like I'd start spinning, like doing somersaults in the air. Was told need to balance as I was astral traveling. Wow. That's wild, dude. But thank you for sharing that. So who do you go believe? Who can you actually sit down and talk with? I don't know. I have you. I have everybody here that follows my show. I can talk to you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of you have experienced something like this. But what I don't understand. And that's why I'm here tonight. Maybe I could get an answer. Joni said if it's not in the book, then it doesn't exist. Yes. Yes. Hey, Blexing. Good to see you, brother. Uh, but that's where I'm at with this. And so, with this lady looking at my face, looking right in my, I'm seriously, man, she showed teeth. I thought it was a vampire because her teeth are pointy. Streaming is going great, Blex. It's going great. Thank you for asking. But, I mean, she had pointy teeth, and I thought she was a vampire or something like that. Or some kind of demon. Don't know. But it's scary as shit. I can tell you that. So let me put the thank you, Lex. Thank you. She really enjoys my streaming. I appreciate it. Now, Blex, real quick, I'm going to say this real quick again. Next Sunday, I'm trying to get my brother's friends who do Dungeons and Dragons. And they do fantasy role play. So, Blex, if you can, please tell your friends over there on Twitch if they would like to come in and listen to the show. I'd appreciate it. Miss says, yes, managed to do it once. Oh, okay. But I stream at this time on Sunday nights, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. Sunday nights. So it's just, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, I'm on Discord. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I would like to hear your theories on the difference between the old hag theory and sleep paralysis. I would love to hear it. Okay, I will. I will do that for you, Lexi. But yeah, maybe we can find an answer tonight. Maybe not. But I didn't like the idea with this chick who had pointy teeth looking at me. I mean, she was like right into my face and she was trying to scare the shit out of me. But you know what? Didn't work. Heidi says that she believes both are real experiences. hmm But why can't, in this, I've been trying to figure out in the paranormal world where you got your scientific people and you got your spiritual people. And when you go on the investigation, the scientific people don't want to hear what the spiritual people have to say because it has to be scientific. Nothing against that. Okay, that's all a part of paranormal investigating, but it would be nice if both could work together. And I believe at the beginning, when this really kicked in with all these paranormal groups, um, Joni says, "How do you come out of it?" You know how I do it, Joni? Now, how I learn, I just say, "God help me," and that's the truth. I said, "God, can you help me get this thing off my body?" And it happens. It works. God does come in, and He takes it away. Or if I mention God, then the thing goes away. I will do that later, Blacksing. Okay, buddy, I will do that. Right now I can't because I'm like doing the show. I don't know. But that's how that happens, Joni. I just say, God help me, and God does, and pulls the thing off me. Okay? That's how that works for me. And I'm not ashamed to say that either. So we're going to go take our break. It is 8:33 p.m. We're going to go. Yeah, whatever works. Whatever works. That's so true, Kev. But we're going to go on a break, and then I'm going to go to my AI thing here, and I'm going to read some stuff about it. You know, the old hag and the reality. But before we go on this break, I just want to say that if there are any doctors out there who deal with sleep paralysis, or any scientists who go, that deals with it, why don't you just listen to us? And maybe you can learn. And I'm not saying that to be mean. Sherry says, I knew there was something on me and I wouldn't open my eyes. I was so scared. I now wish I had opened them. The only way it left was when I started saying the Lord's Prayer. Yes, I have a lot of viewers, Blacks. I have a lot of them. A lot. Especially on Sunday nights. But Sherry, you're right. And it was okay to do by saying the Lord's Prayer. So when I said, God help me, and Sherry saying the Lord's Prayer, it's like, yeah, God does come in and help you. And yeah, it was a demon. Hey, brother, good to see you, Eugene. I haven't seen you for a while. Thank you for coming in tonight. So we're going to go take a quick break. When I come back, and I'll go to the AI deal here, and I'll read off the difference between sleep paralysis and the old hag. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do, and we'll see you in 2.
and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Into the Night with me, your host Sean Kelly. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, Sunday nights, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., and Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Don't forget, Miss C.L. Thomas, the Gateway Podcast, is coming on right after my show tonight, 9:15 Eastern. And go over there, jump on her podcast, say hello, tell her I sent you, and give her some love. What we need to do is give her some love over there. But back to the show. So at the first half of the show, we were talking about the difference between sleep paralysis and the old hag theory, which are basically the same thing. If you're in the scientific way, it's called sleep paralysis. If you're in the spiritual side of the way, it's called the old hag theory. And real quick, again, like I said before we went to break, I just wish the scientific field and the spiritual field could come together and work together. And maybe they can hear, get some experience from us and hear what we have to say instead of going to 8 years of school and like Joni said earlier, it's not in the book. But now I'm going to go into the AI things, my AI phone here now, and I'm going to read, the difference, what they say in AI about the difference between them. Okay, so sleep paralysis and the old hag theory described to be the exact same physiological experience. Sleep paralysis is the modern, there's that word, underlined it 7 times. Sleep paralysis is the modern clinical explanation for the event, while the old hag theory is the cultural, historical, or supernatural folklore people used for centuries to explain those terrifying symptoms. Kevin says, doctor will make money off it, spirit will pull you out for free. That's true. But, okay, so I'm going to read that again. Sleep paralysis is a modern clinical explanation for the event, while the old hag theory is the cultural, historical, or supernatural folklore people used for centuries to explain those terrifying symptoms. So that was way, way back, long, long time ago. And You know, we talk about the Appalachian Mountains, the Appalachian witches out there that used plants, different fruits. Hey, Kara, different kinds of berries, whatever, and they healed people. You know, but you know, it don't work that way no more because the clinical explanation doesn't. Yay, good to see you. But they just don't take into consideration what people used a long time ago to heal. Okay, so that is why. Okay, when it comes down to the sleep paralysis, it's the clinical explanation, modern. And so I guess the doctors had to step in and say, no, no, no. Just like Christianity went into over there in the United Kingdom and told the pagans over there, you have to be Christianity. So what gives the people the right, to flex their muscles and feel like that they are king power of everything, and they got to tell us people, us lay people. Hey, Patrick, good to see you. It's my brother. Greetings. Hey, Pat, I've been telling everybody about maybe we hopefully we can get Mike and Rao come on next Sunday, and we'll do a D&D, show, or role playing show. But yes, so I would believe I would go with the old time, the stuff that happened many years ago before it had to become clinical. Mish says my son is into D&D. Hey, CL, there she is. Hey, girl. Who's your guest tonight, there, buddy? The relationship between the two can be broken down by what is happening medically. There's that medically versus how it's perceived in folklore. So I guess the scientists and the doctors had to step in and move their weight around and say, listen to us. We know more. And they don't know more. I remember when I was with Chasing Prophecy, okay? It's all about the money. Yeah, that's true. It's all about the money. And on C.L. Thomas's show is John Kozik from Parker Brothers to the Devils. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Tell him to tell the Parker Brothers to quit putting the Ouija board out there on the shelves for everyone to buy. Okay, but so to me there is no relationship. I forget. I think it was Kevin who said something earlier, right? They give you a pill and they say see you in the morning. I forget who said that. And Joni said, yeah, Kevin, it's the best, all about the money. And it's true. Patrick, my brother, says, when I was in the Navy on the USS Constitution, in the berthing room, one bed was haunted. So one night I slept in it. Happened. He slept in the bed. It happened. The old hag theory. Thank you for sharing that, Pat. Thank you for sharing that. So, what my brother just said, okay, it's paranormal. It's not a REM sleep where your body all tightens up and all that horse crap. That's what I look at. The clinical reality of sleep paralysis. What is it? The first light bulb invented is still going, however, they wouldn't make money too. That's true. Kara says, yes, sleep paralysis is rough, but I had other experience, kind of the old hag. but it was like a meal demon. Huh, okay. Same thing. Something was on your chest and you couldn't move. So, male or female. Some people call it an incubus, some people call it a succubus, and I'm being honest when I say that. And they're nothing to play around with. Okay, so what is it? What is sleep paralysis? It's a temporary inability to move or speak that occurs either right as you fall asleep or when you wake up. Ooh, shit. Kevin says some people believe everything the doctor will tell them to make the buck. Kara says they were coming out of the wall beside my bed. That's crazy, Kara. Holy crap. Again, it's a temporary inability to move or speak that occurs either right after you fall asleep or when you wake up. During REM, here it is, rapid eye movement sleep, your brain naturally paralyzes your body to prevent you from acting out your dreams. What a case of horseshit. Excuse my mouth. You know, I'm in a cussing mood tonight. Sleep paralysis happens when your conscious mind wakes up, but your body fails to turn off that REM paralysis mode. That's a bunch of salad. That's a bunch of word salad there. I'm going to repeat that again because that's word salad there. During rapid eye movement sleep, your brain naturally paralyzes. My brain never paralyzes. Honest to God, my mind's going miles a minute, even when I'm sleeping. And your body naturally, how's it go? Your brain naturally paralyzes your body to prevent you from acting out your dreams. Sleep paralysis happens when your conscious mind wakes up, but your body fails to turn off that REM paralysis mode. Alongside being unable to move, it often involves vivid, dreamlike hallucinations, like shadow figures. I see those when I'm not sleeping. Intruders. Intruders who? Um, Hearing noises and a terrifying feeling of pressure or weight on the chest. Now that's the symptom of sleep paralysis. Okay. Hallucinations, seeing shadow figures, intruders, dreamlike hallucinations. Nah, again, that is like word salad again from the doctors because they really don't have a damn clue on what we experience. Not until a doctor actually experiences or a scientist actually experiences what we experience. Maybe they might change their mind. Now, this is the cultural myth, the old hag theory. Okay, so as a historical and cultural interpretation of the sleep paralysis experience. And that's what it should be. Maybe those doctors know more than us. I don't think so, Doc. I don't think so, Mish. When it comes to stuff like that, they know more about our pain and our ailments, our cancers, and our whatever. That I will give them. But when it comes down to our kind of stuff, what we experience, no. Before modern sleep science, people explained the physical chest pressure and the ability to move as a supernatural attack by a demonic entity, an incubus, or a witch, often personified as an old, withering hag sitting on the sleeper's chest. Yeah, that's what I experienced. was this old nasty witch just sitting on my chest, laughing at me or cackling or giving me the evil eye, you know. That's what I experienced. You can, and then I guess the doctors or the sleep paralysis people, they can hook so many damn things to your brain, and you could do sleep study shit, all that kind of stuff. And what's the deal? Are they praying or are they hoping that you do get the sleep paralysis? No, it's not a good witch here, Kev. They hope that we get something like that on us while we're doing a sleep therapy thing or sleep study. Mm-mm. No. First of all, to be honest with you, um, now I know there's people out there that need to have sleep, but sleep studies and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, I don't want brain stuff connected to my brains. I don't want a cap over my head with so many damn wires going everywhere. I know what I saw, I know what I felt, and I know what it was. And I think the doctors are ignorant that they won't listen to us. And that's my opinion. This culture phenomenon is not exclusive to one region. Hey, Sherry, you in? I hope you're still there, buddy. In Newfoundland and South Carolina, it is called the old hag. In Japan, it is called Kenishibar, whatever. And in Thailand, it's called Fiar. And in Turkey, it is Karabansin. Ooh, I wasn't ready for all those words. But it's not just here in the States, it's everywhere in the world. Let's see what else. Okay, here we go. Now, Kara says, I had a dream one time that a demon was crawling up from the foot of my bed toward me. I half woke up, screamed, ran down the hallway, twisted my ankle, and fell. I then realized it was my daughter. She was climbing into bed with me, but in my dream it was a demon. Holy crap, Kara, you have some crazy stuff happen to you. I had nothing happen like that to me, bud. But thank you for sharing that. Kevin says, I think it's not getting to the root of the problem like most medical fixes. LOL, toss salt at the hag, she will go. Or holy water, just holy words. Holy words work for me, man, because I cannot damn move to get the holy water, or toss salt at the damn thing. I sure as hell ain't going to put myself in a ring of salt before I go to bed. Because, man, that would feel very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But, and here it says, when you experience sleep paralysis, your brain is awake, but it's still partially producing dream imagery. Because your chest muscles feel tight and your breathing is shallow during REM sleep. Okay, listen, Kevin, Heidi, what do you think of this? I want everybody's opinion if you want to share it. Kara, I'm going to read this again. When you experience sleep paralysis, your brain is awake but still partially producing dream imagery. Because your chest muscles feel tight and your breathing is shallow during REM sleep, your brain naturally interprets this restricted feeling as an external heavy weight. Another word salad. The old hag theory is simply the brain's way of assigning a culturally familiar monster or demon to a very real frightening physical sensation. Are you serious? Are you serious? Come on. Oh my Lord. I mean, they give at least what, 7 or 8 lines for, you know, the sleep paralysis, and they only give you 4 or 5 lines for the old hag. To me, it's a bunch of horse crap. It really is. But that is what the AI thingy had to say, okay, about the sleep paralysis and the old hag. Kevin says, yeah, dreams can play a trickery. Hey, Kara, I saw an imaginary salt. I don't know if there could be imaginary salt, buddy. I don't know. But I know what I felt, I know what I saw, and I know what I experienced. And I sure as hell am not saying that I was in a REM sleep or my brain was awake but my body was still asleep. I know what I experienced. Kevin says I sleep in intervals, so maybe that is why I don't stop breathing, also fall asleep, sitting or partially standing up usually. That's good. I wish I could do that. No, you can find salt in your dream. Thanks, Kev. But yeah, that is the difference between sleep paralysis and the old hag theory. Peyton, Peyton, greetings. May Lord Jesus have mercy on us all. Thank you, Peyton. I appreciate that. You know, when you go and pray tonight, say a little prayer for me, okay? I'd appreciate it. Okay? And I'll say a little prayer for you too, brother. Sitting up, not standing up. You're funny, Kevin. And I mean that, Peyton. But so that's the difference. And if you want my conclusion or you want my theory, I believe you can stick the paralysis out the door, kick it in the ass and kick it out the door, because I don't believe that. The only thing I believe is myself, because I saw, I felt, and I heard. That's all that matters. We are getting close to the end of the show. I hope everybody enjoyed the difference between the sleep paralysis and the old hag theory. Kara says, my nightmares are why I was on meds for nightmares. I quit taking them so I could actually dream, and now they're just crazy and wild, but at least not scary. I'm glad they're not scary. Blast them with the brightest intense light. Yes. Peace to you too, Peyton. Peace to you, my friend. And thank you for coming into the show. Okay, so we are at the 50-minute mark of the show, and you know what that means. I'm going to draw a card. I only think I'm going to draw one card tonight. Maybe I'll draw 3. I don't know what's going to happen. Kevin says, yeah, I prefer to dream. Love it. But I'm going to draw some cards, and I'm really putting all my thought into it, you know. And if Peyton, you're still in the room, what I do right now is I draw cards. They're animal spirit totem cards. And I pull one. And when I pull one, that's for everybody in the room. Okay. And what you do is you write the animal down. And then you go Google the animal and see what it means for you for mystical, why it helps you. Okay, guys, here we go. Yeah, Kara says, yeah, life is boring without dreams. All right, everybody, here comes the card pull. All right. Okay, good. We got some people in the chat. Okay, so I just got done shuffling them, cutting them once, cutting them twice, and cutting them 3 times. I wish I could do. Life is but a dream. Okay, you guys ready? Here it comes. Boom. It's the porcupine. The porcupine. Well, I can't say it that good. Look at them quails on that porcupine. Sure, they go around and like, they eat the little bugs and stuff like that. Ah, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. I like owls. But the porcupine just goes around and it eats little bugs. But it has them quails. So whenever you're walking, yeah, it is unique. Protection. So whenever you get into the old hag or sleep paralysis, whatever you want to, okay, bring the porcupine with you and have the porcupine shoot its coils into that person that is sitting on your chest. Give it a shot because those coils are powerful. If it can take down a leopard or a lion, sure as hell could probably take down a demon. So whenever you're in that situation, whenever you're in that situation, okay, just call on the porcupine to protect you. Even if you're in meditation, even, wherever you're at, bring the porcupine with you. I'm glad everybody enjoyed. Let me see. Heidi got it. Establishing healthy boundaries, protecting personal vulnerability, and reclaiming childlike innocence and trust. Thank you, Heidi, for looking that up. It's true. You're protecting yourself with the coils of the porcupine. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. I hope everybody gets something out of the card about the porcupine. So you can conjure up a porcupine, but no salt. Yeah, I'd rather do. Here's something else, Kevin. Thanks. But on that note, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, please find somebody and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Don't forget those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And please protect the children. Don't forget, right after my show tonight, you have the Gateway podcast, my dear friend C.L. Thomas. And please go over and check her show out. Well, that's it. That's it for tonight. Next Sunday, hopefully, I can get my brother's friends and we can do a Dungeons and Dragons, show or role playing, fantasy playing. We're not going to do no role playing or fantasy, but I have a lot of questions I need to ask, and hopefully they will do it. So, on that note, good night, everybody, and I will see you next Sunday.